All right, let's dive into Gary Vaynerchuk's take on grabbing attention in a social media-obsessed world. We're talking about his new book, NUW, Day Trading Attention. If you're trying to make a splash in 2024 and beyond, you're going to want to stick around for this.
You know, it's fascinating how Vaynerchuk really flips the script on what we used to think of as advertising gold. Like, remember when snagging a primetime TV spot was the holy grail?
Yeah, those are the days. Everyone gathered around the TV, catchy jingles, the whole bit.
But those days are fading fast.
Totally. Feels almost nostalgic now, doesn't it? But like back in the 1950s, TV was the place to be. Everyone watching the same thing.
Huge audience, right. And now, cable's dropping, streaming's exploding, that traditional TV crowd shrinking fast. Plus, think about it.
Way more options now. Way shorter attention spans.
Exactly, that expensive commercial, not the guaranteed win it used to be.
So the million-dollar question is, where is everyone's attention?
Vaynerchuk's answer, it's gone full on TikTok.
It's true. It's like TikTok's taken over the world one dance video at a time.
Well, he's talking about a bigger shift happening across all social media. It's the way TikTok's algorithm works, you see. Unlike those older platforms built around who you follow, TikTok's laser-focused on your interests.
Okay, so how does that actually work? Break it down for me.
Imagine two types of maps. One, the old way, the social graph, it's like following someone's paper map. You only see what they choose to show you, right?
Right.
But TikTok's interest graph is like having a GPS that's constantly learning. It figures out what you love, even if it's off the beaten path. It's not about your friend group, it's about what makes you stop scrolling.
And what I find really interesting is that Vaynerchuk says this is actually great news, especially for smaller businesses or creators.
Absolutely. You don't need a massive following to go viral on TikTok because the algorithm can put your content in front of people who will find it incredibly relevant, even if they've never heard of you before.
Right. It's like that locksmith video I saw showed how to fix a sticky door with just a coin. Super niche, but it blew up.
Because it was useful and entertaining. That's the thing.
It's not about the follower count anymore. It's about how good your content is.
Exactly. Content is king now more than ever. Vaynerchuk uses this example of how video views on TikTok, they can be all over the place, even for big creators. Why? Because captivating content. That's what's driving those numbers.
Which is amazing news for anyone who's like, okay, I'm just starting out. I don't have a million followers. Your creativity, that unique angle, that's your biggest asset in this new world.
You got it.
Okay, so we're playing in this new TikTok East Side world, right? Where attention is everything. So how do we actually create content that wins in this landscape? What's Vaynerchuk's game plan?
Well, he actually revisits his classic jab, 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 right hook concept, but with a modern twist.
Oh, I love that. So what's the twist? It's not just about giving value up front anymore.
Nope, not enough. Today, it's all about relevance. You've got to make it resonate.
Makes sense. Anyone can share some generic tip about, I don't know, social media marketing, but if it doesn't speak to me, to my challenges as a small business owner.
You're gone. You're scrolling. Exactly.
It's like those brands you love, the ones you actually spend money with. They get you.
They speak your language.
They address your needs, your aspirations. That's the key.
Okay, that makes total sense. But how do you actually do that? How do you figure out what's relevant? Because, let's be real, the social media world is a bit.
Oh, it's a jungle out there.
It's a lot. So how do you navigate it?
Well, that's where Vaynerchuk's platforms and culture framework comes in. He calls it PAC for short. And the big idea is this. It's not enough to just be on social media these days.
You've got to understand each platform.
You got to get it. It's like you're learning a new culture.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me an example.
All right, let's say you're putting together a carousel post. Now, on LinkedIn, you can upload those detailed PDFs, geek out on the data, and that works great for that audience. But
try that on Instagram?
Crickets. You'll hear crickets. Instagram, that's visual storytelling. And then you've got Snapchat, even younger audience than TikTok.
Totally different vibe. Totally different way of talking. Exactly. Each platform, it's got its own rhythm, its own way of communicating. And if you want to grab attention, you got to be fluent. You got to speak the language.
So for our listeners who are maybe feeling a little overwhelmed by all of this, what's the one thing they should focus on?
Analysis.
Yeah.
Don't just set it and forget it. Don't rely on just the algorithms. You need to be constantly analyzing what's working, what's resonating with your people.
Looking at comments, really digging into the data.
Yes, look at those comments. Adjust your approach based on what you learn. Vaynerchuk calls this post-creative strategy, or PCS.
I love a good acronym. PCS, gotta love it.
It's about actively listening. you know, because there are things no algorithm can really capture. Your audience will tell you what they want, but you got to be paying attention.
So it's like the algorithm might say, hey, gardening videos are trending. But if all your comments are like, hey, what about indoor herb gardens?
There you go. There's your sign. Lean in. And this whole idea of analyzing, of actively listening, it's crucial for everything. From that day-to-day engaging content to what Vaynerchuk calls modern commercials.
Okay, modern commercials. Tell me more. It's not just slapping together some social media posts, right?
No, we're talking next level here. Vaynerchuk's talking longer format, higher production, the kind of videos that grab your attention like a Super Bowl ad.
Okay, I'm seeing the Super Bowl comparison, but there's got to be a difference.
Right. They're informed. You're using all that data you've gathered from your organic content, your posts, everything.
So it's like using those shorter experimental pieces, the TikToks, the Reels, to find out what really works, what themes people love, and then you go big.
You got it. Invest in those higher quality productions.
Smart.
Right. He actually gives this really interesting example, Fox Financial.
They do home loans and insurance, don't they? Not exactly the most,
glamorous.
yeah, not typically known for going viral.
Yeah.
So what do they do?
Exactly. And that's what's so cool about Vaynerchuk's approach. They wanted to see about using a mascot.
A mascot.
Yeah.
For home loans. Seems a little risky now.
Right. And they knew it. So instead of going all in, big budget, full campaign, they tested it out.
Social media to the rescue.
Exactly. They used their social content, felt it out, gauged people's reactions.
It's kind of brilliant when you think about it, social media as a testing ground.
Totally.
Okay, so mascot example, love it. But give me some more. What does a modern commercial actually look like?
Well, Vaynerchuk's a huge fan of those street-style interviews.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like Humans of New York, but video.
Oh, I love those. So genuine.
Right. Those authentic, raw moments, people really connect with that.
It's like that one, the guy's asking people about their love lives, and he finds this older couple, been married forever, still totally in love. Getting teary just thinking about it.
See, instant viral hit.
And it's not always about being heartwarming either, is it?
Definitely not. Remember Ryanair, the airline?
Oh, yeah. They're notorious, aren't they? Their marketing is wild.
But it works. All that self-deprecating humor, poking fun at themselves, at the airline industry.
They make flying fun again.
It's relatable. It breaks down those walls. Like, hey, we're all in on the joke.
Okay, so we've got street interviews, we've got self-deprecating humor, but those still feel kind of traditional, you know what I mean? Like you can see them as TV commercials. What else is Vaynerchuk excited about?
All right, get ready for this content with multiple actions.
Okay, now that's interesting. Multiple actions.
Think about it. You're not just giving people one reason to watch, you're giving them multiple.
Okay, I'm hooked. I need an example.
Okay, imagine someone doing your makeup on camera while they're also giving life advice.
Whoa. Okay, so it's not just about the makeup, it's about, like, the personality, too.
Yes. Or a podcast where the host and guest are both flying drones while they're having this deep conversation. It's dynamic, unexpected. You're engaging multiple senses at once.
Man, the possibilities. It's like those moments where you're like, I can't look away.
Exactly.
This is giving me so many ideas. We've covered a ton of ground, from that shift in attention to Vaynerchuk's pay key framework to these modern commercials. But let's get really specific. What's something our listener, no matter their background, can take away from this book?
You know, there's one scenario in the book that really resonated with me. It's for anyone who's thought about joining the family business.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
You're young, full of all these new ideas, social media whiz, and you're trying to convince your parents, who've been running the family, roofing company the same way for 30 years, that TikTok's not just a fad.
It's a classic. And Vaynerchuk's advice, it's spot on. Don't try to change everything overnight.
Baby steps.
Exactly. Start small. Maybe create a separate social media account just for the roofing company.
Love it. Share some roofing tips, behind-the-scenes peeks.
Right. Prove the value without disrupting everything they've built.
It's like, don't come in talking about going viral. Talk about reaching new customers, about growing the family legacy.
Speak their language, build trust. And for those who think they're industries too,
Boring.
Vaynerchuk's got you covered.
Yeah, because it's easy to get excited about, I don't know, the latest tech gadget, but how do you make a locksmith exciting?
Right, but Vaynerchuk says it's about finding that unique angle, that valuable piece of information, something that makes you the expert.
It's like 5 signs you need to replace your locks. Stuff people actually search for.
Exactly. Be helpful, be informative, and suddenly you're not boring anymore. You're the go-to expert.
So smart.
And we can't forget about all the B2B folks out there.
Yes. They need love too, who often think social media is just not for them.
Right. Vaynerchuk's a huge proponent of LinkedIn, especially for B2B, calls it a goldmine.
Oh, it's so true. Forget the cold calls. Start sharing insightful content, engage in conversations, become that thought leader.
It's about building those relationships, building trust.
Love it.
And, even for someone who's out there, grinding, maybe feeling like they're not getting anywhere, struggling influencer, Vaynerchuk says, don't give up. Diversify your content. Figure out your niche. Think beyond just one platform.
It's about evolving, experimenting, staying one step ahead. And speaking of new trends, Vaynerchuk is really into collectibles in marketing.
Right. He talks about this Axe body spray campaign. They released this special pack.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Body spray, how are we making that collectible?
Included trading cards of popular gamers.
Oh, that's brilliant. So it's not just body spray anymore. It's like a collector's item.
Exactly. They tapped into a whole new level of excitement.
Genius.
And beyond collectibles, we got to talk about AI.
The future is now, or, well, coming soon. Sometimes it feels a little,
That's scary.
a little bit. Are robots going to take over marketing?
Not quite. But Vaynerchuk does see a future where voice search, personalization, all powered by AI, they're going to be even bigger players in building brand loyalty.
So we're not just typing into Google anymore. We're asking Alexa to order our groceries based on, like, our dietary restrictions.
Exactly. And if your brand's not top of mind, you might miss out.
It's not enough to just have an amazing product anymore. You have to be unforgettable.
You got it.
Wow. We covered so much ground today. It's clear that the world of advertising is changing faster than ever, and Gary Vaynerchuk is definitely someone to listen to. He really leaves us with this big question: where do you think attention is headed next?
Big question. What are those new platforms, the trends, the technology that's going to reshape everything we thought we know? It's going to be a wild ride, that's for sure.
And the exciting part is, we're all in the driver's seat in a way. So to our amazing listeners out there, we want to hear from you. What are your predictions? What gets you fired up? Let us know. Hit us up on social media, Ravia.
Because as we've learned from Vaynerchuk, the future of advertising, it's dynamic, it's creative, and it's up for grabs.
That's a wrap on today's deep dive into day trading attention. Thanks for joining us now. Go out there and grab some attention.